Phones.
5 a.m.
Yes, silence your cell phones.
Always.
That may be in the room with you.
Running the dryer right now, so we won't have that beef.
That's good. Oh, hey, we're live. Yay.
Oh, hello,
Yay.
Internet.
I forgot I clicked that button. Sup, y'all? Welcome to Original Gamers Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Ryan, and I'm joined today, as always, by the one, Colin Brown.
Hello, my friends.
And
other people that I don't know.
Joel Watt.
Hello, friends.
Wow.
It's okay. I'm nobody important.
We're not getting the hello friends anymore. He's like, I'm not your friend. Call me your sidekick. Forget that. Today, we'll be talking about Beyond Good and Evil, and we'll probably talk a little bit about the 19th announcement of Beyond Good and Evil 2 that happened at E3. 19th time that they've been like, this is happening, and then it never does. So forgive me, Ubisoft, for taking a wait and see approach to this. But before we get into that, we like to shoot the breeze and get caught up because we're friends in real life, and that's what friends do. So how's it going?
You cut out. Are you talking to me?
I think so.
Okay. I'll just go then.
Sorry, just do it.
So, last week was fun. I had a flat tire, which I think I talked about last week. I don't remember. And I had to buy a brand new tire because they couldn't fix it. Because usually they can fix it, and but it was too close to the sidewall, so I had to buy a brand new tire. All of a sudden, so that was fun. And then let's see, we celebrated like my dad's birthday / Father's Day on Friday after work, so that was kind of fun.
Cool.
Even though it's like between both of those things, but it's whatever. And let's see. I got up at like 4:30 this morning to go to work. Yeah. It was. It's partially my fault because I didn't getting around to setting up. Because at my work, I work. For anyone who doesn't know, I work for this like after school summer camp that's at a church, and I'm the one who like sets up and tears down everything so it can be ready for church service and then for when we do the camp. And I usually do it on Sunday night, but I was not able to. So, I woke up super early just so I can get there before, because we open at like 7 o'clock, and so I had to get there in time to set everything up and be there. And then because I'm getting low on gas and I am very close to out of money, I decided I'm just going to stay up there until I have to be at work at 1 o'clock. So I just slept in my car. I brought my laptop. I played a game actually for the first time. Feels like weeks. Because as anyone who knows, with E3 going on, and as our listeners know, and as you guys know, I am a big fan of Monster Hunter in a very big way.
Yes.
And with the announcement of Monster Hunter World, which I am super excited because I've been waiting for that to come to America, because a similar version has been in Japan for like 6-7 years now. So when that got announced, I got super excited for it. So I've started a new file on Monster Hunter 4. And I'm just going through that right now. It's been a fun time.
Nice.
Yeah. So So that's what's going on with me.
How about you, Joel?
This week is VBS. So if you couldn't tell, I'm wearing a bright teal shirt, which is very unusual for me.
This week is Death Week at churches everywhere.
Yeah. So school just ended last week out here, so VBS is this week. And
that's late in the year. What in the world?
No.
June.
Yeah.
No, people have been out of school here for like 3 weeks.
Well, college maybe, but not elementary
You're on
school.
the East Coast. You're weird. So
No, like my kid has been out of school for 3 weeks.
Okay.
What
well,
is
in
this? Just kidding.
California, school
That's
ends in the middle of
California.
June. All right.
yeah,
There's
I know,
nothing but
'cause-
communists over there.
all of our kids got out like on Tuesday and Wednesday last week as well.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Anyway,
Back.
sorry. Continue.
Anyway, so VBS is going on this week, so I'm like super tired, but I actually got a nap today, so I'm not feeling terrible for once. I didn't hardly sleep at all last night. I don't know if it was just the stress or what, but like, actually, I know what it was. I got home last night at like 8:30, and I had parked in the driveway, and when my mom got home at like 11, she called me and was like, "Move your car." And so because I'd been asleep for a little while, like I couldn't go back to sleep. So yeah, it was terrible. And so I was up till about 5 a.m. before I finally passed out again. And so all
That
morning,
sounds awful.
yes, it was a struggle to get through VBS. And thankfully, I had volunteers covering everything. So I just stayed in the green room and played on my Switch till the battery died. Played Zelda till it said critical. And I was like, ah, crap. So.
I have was it a full charge?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I was wondering what you're out of it, because I haven't tried to do that yet.
Yeah, I've never gone from full charge to low battery in one session, so I don't know like what the time frame is. I usually can get through a Sunday on a full charge, but that's like very intermittent playing. And
Okay.
and
Cool.
yeah, that's what I did yesterday. I brought it to work yesterday because again, I had volunteers cover everything because it's VBS week and I ain't about to put in all that work. So yeah, so like a proper leader should, I delegated. And anyway, so
hey, good job.
So yeah, I just sat in the green room and played for a few hours, and then today I did the same thing, and so that's why my battery died like halfway through VBS this morning. But yeah, so I was not in a good mood this morning all VBS. But
yeah, I can imagine.
And of course, it being the first day, everything's crazy because nobody knows what to do or where to go or why things are. Children are crying and puking.
Ew.
Yeah, there's some
It's a bad day.
There's some kind of vomiting sickness going around, and so we had to send like 5 kids home.
That's too bad.
Yeah, but we had over 200 kids show up, so that was awesome.
Jeez.
Yeah, we put on a pretty big VBS.
That's a big VBS. Like, that's no joke.
We take up almost every single room in our facility when we break out into sessions, and yeah, the main sanctuary is full of people where it's large group time. So
you go to a pretty big church?
We get about 1,200 people on a full Sunday, and that's among 3 services. So yes, it's a big church. I guess anything bigger than 500, I guess, is a mega church. I don't understand that because the churches I all grew up in were 1,000 to 10,000, like, and so to me, this feels like a normal sized church.
Go to a mega church, and I don't feel like so.
For 500,
has my
yeah,
that's weird.
I guess I do.
Well, when you think about it, most churches in America are 100 or less.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay. That makes sense.
I can
And it's like the like 99th percentile gets above 10,000. So like that's huge disparity when you get like, 50% that's under 100. And so anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
I suppose that makes sense.
I can
video and cleared up at all.
No. You're still missing like every 10th word.
Yeah.
But
well, do is I'm gonna do mine, and my actually has visuals, and then I'm gonna turn my camera off, so you'll just get my big honking nose or whatever it is I use as my Google profile picture. So anyway, I father in this group celebrated Father's Day, both of a father
Happy
and
Father's
as somebody who has. Oh, thank you. So I got this cool T-shirt. A little bit. It's
oh
Deadpool
my gosh.
riding a unicorn,
Deadpool.
and there's tacos and
Chimichanga.
chimichangas
Oh,
and
that's legit.
all kinds of stuff. The funny
What's he
thing is, I still putting maximum effort. Says I still
Nice.
haven't seen the movie actually, but they
Deadpool.
yeah, I really want to. I just haven't yet. I take my kid because I hear it's great for the family. No,
Don't.
but yeah, no, I'm very aware.
Okay.
Stupid computer. I know you can't download the updates because this computer did not come with enough storage for that to happen. Stop telling me about it. This is my life. Hey, go away so I can finish doing this podcast. You guys didn't lose me?
Yeah, you're here. We got you.
Okay, good. Maybe this is just gonna stay here forever. Okay. Anyway, so so there's that. Yeah, they were in Walmart. They saw the T-shirt. It was crazy. So they were like, "Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get." So that's awesome. But today, so it was a little bit late. It came in the mail. I got this.
Oh man.
Wait, I missed it. What?
It's the 8-bit dough. This is actually the Famicom version because you see it's got the Japanese
So many colors.
buttons. So that's
cool.
actually the thing out of the box. If you've never held one, it's close to what a Super Nintendo controller could feel like without Super Nintendo controller. It's really nice. I went ahead and updated the firmware and synced it to my Switch and played a little bit of Shovel Knight. It feels amazing. Oh, and
see, that would be cool.
I'm jealous.
yeah, I played.
Oh.
I was actually discussing this with somebody yesterday, and actually now that that's done, I'm gonna turn my
Yeah.
hopefully that'll clear up my bandwidth thing.
Let's hope.
Come on. Oh wait.
If you mouse over
Oh
it,
yeah.
and yeah.
Mouse over it and turn camera. Okay.
Bam.
Yeah. So I
Just
was talking with someone about this. It was either yesterday or Saturday. My first Mario Kart was Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo. So there's been analog control in every Mario Kart since then. I still kind of feather my steering left and right.
Oh yeah.
I've always done. Well, this the D-pad actually works in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Oh, what?
Ooh.
Yeah. So I played a time trial just real quick, and it was like I feel like I'm playing Super Mario Kart again. Yeah, I mean, like obviously the controls a little bit better than Super Mario Kart did, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. So yeah, and the Switch just sees it as a controller.
Yeah.
But of course, it obviously doesn't have the analog sticks. So anything that like you can't play Zelda with this because you need the analog sticks. But anything that doesn't require it.
How do you play Mario? I didn't know you could use the D-pad on Mario Kart.
I didn't either. I just tried it because I was like, I mean, you can use a Joy-Con sideways. Maybe it.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
So that's and it worked. I'm gonna do an unboxing, even though I've already because the packaging is actually really nice, and it comes with some stuff that I wasn't expecting it to come with. I kind of wish it did, but I get why not, because they want to upsell it. Is they actually sell a USB receiver that will plug into your Super Nintendo, and so that you can use it like a Super Nintendo controller for your Super Nintendo.
Yeah, it's actually.
So I haven't tried it on.
It looks like the D-pad on a Nintendo controller. It's called like the cross hub or something like that. It's a 4-port thing. Well, there's one port that plugs in, and there's 3 that you plug more controllers in. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So hopefully I'll get one of those eventually. It's really nice. Like I said, I'll do an unboxing and a probably a little review of it and compare it to one of my Super Nintendo controllers because I've still got 2 of those. So, anyway, so yeah, that's what's up with me. So, we'll get into this game. So we're playing Beyond Good and Evil. Is developed by these are all Ubisoft companies. So Ubisoft Montpellier, Milan. Hi, where's Milan?
Italy, as far as I know.
Italy? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
Okay.
Italy. Yeah, Italy.
Cool.
Definitely Italy.
Definitely Italy. It's definitely.
Definitely. Like Nolan with the
Definitely.
remix. Right? It's published by Ubisoft. It's directed by Michael. It's pronounced Ansel, right?
Michael Bay. Oh.
Not Michael
No.
Bay. Michel Ancel.
Just everything explodes all the time.
Even the game disc.
It was designed by Michael Ansel and Sebastian Morin. I don't know the Sebastian name. I know Michael Ansel and I know Michael Ansel just because of his relationship to Ubisoft because he does a lot of stuff.
He's kind of the guy
them.
over there, like Miyamoto is with Nintendo.
Yep. I want to
Except
be the
that
guy just like
people
you.
I'm glad you got that.
Nolan.
Yeah. Oh, is it my turn to read? Okay.
Yeah, I got to a name I couldn't pronounce and decided to give it to you.
Thank you, bud.
I know how to pronounce it.
No problem. Okay.
The producer.
Wait, your turn.
Ah, goodness. All right. Ives Guillemot.
Is that right, Joel?
No, it's Eve.
Eve. That was my. That was the other one.
Eves. Ha, you lose.
That was the last.
You
name.
are the weakest link.
Goodbye.
Oh,
Yeah, was the last name okay?
Close enough. Guillemot. Yeah.
Okay. I'll take it.
All right. And Joel, you want to take a crack at the
So this is Christophe Erol, I think, because if this is like Spanish, then the H is silent, and the emphasis is where the accent mark is. So, Hey, Jimmy, what's up? And hello, Jenny. I forgot to say hi to Jenny earlier. She's been in the chat for a few minutes.
My apologies because of my awful laptop. I can't see the chat, so
It's okay.
if we forget about you,
I'm trying to
blame the other two.
in chat, kind of. So.
Yeah, why I was about because I streamed ARMS on Friday night, and I guess my sister-in-law was in the chat, and I guess she was asking me a bunch of questions, and I just didn't see any of them. So then my brother, her husband, is like, "Dude, answer her question, or we're unsubscribing." And I'm like, as far as I know, you're not even subscribed to begin with. I mean, he might be. I don't know. But they just pop into the live streams to razz me.
Oh, of course.
Because I know they don't actually.
What is family for?
Content. Right. Obviously. Yeah, so then the creator of this game, which will maybe one day be a series, is Michael Ansel. All right.
Let's hoping.
As what was that?
Just continue. I'm.
Someone turn that into a GIF. It needs to happen. Nolan's face. Let's hope.
Let's hope. Let's hoping.
I ate it on the internet when you appear in a meme.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
All of the meme money. That's what I want.
I got no money for it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I was like, wait, what do we? Oh.
I willingly allowed the proceeds to go to a couple of missionaries.
That's a good.
Oh, so sweet of you. I mean, that's what Jedi Jesus would do, right?
Exactly.
You would.
No, my brother even texted me. He's like, "So how much money did you get from this?" And I was like, "Oh, it's going to these two guys. You know, the guys who ran that
got
page.
fame.
You know.
Mhm. Don't need money. We got internet fame.
So as I learned during 20 questions, because GameCube exclusive, it appeared on PlayStation 2 in North America on November 11th, 2003, and then a couple days, 3 days later, in Europe on November 14th. Appeared on Microsoft Windows. We'll find out. I was just sitting here thinking, like, did it like release simultaneously on anything? And it looks like maybe one thing. Yeah, Windows on November 19th, and then that was North America. Europe on December 5th. Xbox got it pretty late. North America December 2nd, and then in Europe on February 27th of 2004. Okay, so the GameCube version and the PS2 version came out on the same day, at least in North America.
Did they?
Didn't. It came out a month apart. Wow.
Yeah, I'm reading
That's
November,
30
December.
days, not the same day.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm reading
So-
like a 30
so I
day
had-
difference there.
So not only did I think it was a GameCube exclusive and was incorrect, it didn't even come out on the GameCube first.
Nope.
I don't know where my head was.
Yeah, came to PlayStation first here. So Good
Yeah.
job.
So North America, December 11th, 2003. Australia, just the entire year of 2003, just constantly coming out.
every single day.
It was like a party. And then Europe, February 27th, 2004. Okay, so Europe got the Xbox and GameCube version on the same day.
Oh, okay. Look at that.
There's your simultaneous release. And then it came out.
I wasn't gonna...
Came out on Xbox 360 on March 2nd, 2011, and then later on PS3 in Europe on June 8th, 2011, North America 2011. Did this just not get a Japanese release at all?
I did not
Apparently
see
not.
one on Wikipedia. Well, Ubisoft
That's
is a
weird.
Western developer, so sometimes there
That's
are such
true.
things as Western exclusives.
Yep. You know, I have like, do Call of Duty games come out in Japan?
Yes, actually. If you want to
Okay.
play a private game without actually while still getting online achievements, set your Xbox's server to Japan only and tell your friends to do the same thing, and you will be the only people online.
Yeah. All right. Good advice right there. Well, because I was thinking, I guess it would. No, I guess what I should have asked was, do they sell Call of Duty games in Germany? And then did they sell the World War II games in Germany?
If they do, it would be censored.
Yeah. Like, they're not Germans. They're just random people that were passing
Maybe not
in
the
streets.
first Call of Duties. Maybe the newer ones. They probably do.
Yeah, like Modern Warfare and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But
like
of course, now they're going back to World War II.
Games. Yeah, like you're not allowed to
Mhm.
show a swastika unless it's for historical purposes. And video games aren't for historical purposes. Not a documentary or a biopic or something like that. So
That's ridiculous.
because like you what's that movie? Inglourious Bastards. They actually you never actually see a swastika in print media in that movie. They're on the uniforms, of course, and carved in the guy's forehead. Spoilers. But you never see any in the print media that's on the walls in the background because of the censorship rules in Germany. And so, what's his face? The director, Quentin Tarantino, was very aware of this when filming.
Okay.
Interesting. Speaking of, and I know this is off topic, so
Jimmy
welcome
says
to our,
that,
yes,
welcome to the
Wolfenstein.
first.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein was
yeah,
definitely
welcome to the
very
first
interesting.
tangent of the podcast, the first of many. I forgot to mention, I saw Wonder Woman a couple days ago.
Ah, sweet.
I heard that was.
Did y'all see that yet?
Yes, I saw it on
I
release night with a bunch of friends. It was awesome.
I didn't get
That's
to.
set in,
Might tomorrow.
it's set in World War One, right?
One,
That's
yes.
the war.
One.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, that's why.
The Great War.
It's like the
Yes.
50s, isn't it?
No, it's World War One, dude.
Wolfenstein?
No.
No,
Wonder
I'm talking about
Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Wow,
Oh,
we changed
okay.
gears.
I'm sorry.
There.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
changed topics.
Let's
Get
go.
rid of it.
I'm staring at Wolfenstein, and that was the issue because I'm staring at it. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Wolfenstein takes place in World War II.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder
World
Woman.
War
Yes.
One.
An alternate.
Jenny confirms World War One.
Thanks, Jenny.
What's confirmed? Never mind. Oh, okay. Jenny did. Yeah. See, because I don't have the chat. So,
Yeah.
all right.
We're in 3 different
yeah,
places
so-
here.
Yeah. We
Sorry, Wonder Woman.
Literally. Yeah. So, well, anyway, it's a good movie, Nolan. You gotta go see it, and
I plan
and
to.
just
I do.
you can see her shaved armpits, which apparently made people very angry
What?
because people need something to be angry about. I had some ridiculous. Wonder Woman wouldn't bother shaving her armpits, so why are her armpits shaved except for patriarchy?
Oh goodness sake!
It's a thing. Ask Anita Sarkeesian; she can tell you all about it.
Yeah, I'll get right on.
I'd
that.
rather not.
I'll get right on.
You just get her on speed dial here. Hey,
Just,
what's going on? Yeah. Anyway, enough about that. So I wanted to play this game because Ubisoft at their for E3, I say little press event, and apparently I didn't watch it because I don't have that kind of time. I watched Nintendo's, and then I just kind of got caught up
That's
on
all I
everybody
watched
else's.
Was Nintendo's. I didn't get a
Yeah,
chance to watch
well,
any other yet.
And not just because it was the one that I was the most interested in, but it was like 25 minutes. I'm like, yeah, I have 25 minutes. I don't have or whatever it is that the PlayStation event and the Xbox event were and all that stuff. Yeah, so anyway, I heard at the Ubisoft event they showed a CG trailer for which this is not the first time that's happened. So while I'm excited, I'm also very cautiously optimistic. Like, even though all it was a flying logo, I have more faith that Metroid Prime 4 will happen than Beyond Good and Evil 2, even though there was more of it shown.
That's true. But well, I mean, the last thing was just there was like the logo, and then there was like the pig guy whose name I can't remember, sitting at a truck stop that Ubisoft teased like what 2-3 years ago or something.
I'm pretty sure it was farther back than that.
Or I don't even remember. Yeah, but I remember like seeing this, and it's like, and people were all like, "Oh, it's gonna happen! It's gonna happen!" So that's what I'm wondering if that's what you meant by there's been a couple.
Actually, so let's see. The remake came out for 360 and PS3 in 2011, and I want to say that it was around then that this teaser that you're talking about was. Okay. So, I mean, someone can look that up and verify that for me. But yeah, there's the pig, and there was something about a fly was on his nose.
Yeah.
But that was the other thing. There was no gameplay whatsoever. It was kind of like...
It was just a real quick little thing.
Yeah, and then nothing ever happened with it. So that's why I say, like, I'm excited for this game. I hope it happens because I really, really, really enjoyed the first one, which you will all find out when we start talking about it. But yeah, I don't.
2011. It was for the
yeah.
HD. That's what it was.
So I mean, you know,
that people.
I mean, now, honest with you, if Mario and the Rabbids can be in an XCOM game, I don't see why Beyond Good and Evil 2 shouldn't exist. Ubisoft, let's do this. So, yeah. Anyway, enough being down on whether or not the second one's going to happen. The first one does exist, and it's great. So, did either of y'all played this game at all?
Very little.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be all you play.
The original or the remaster?
The original.
Okay. I mean, as far as I know, they're both the same thing. Just one's prettier.
I would imagine so.
Yeah. So the game is. It's like, excuse me. I feel like a lot of things get described as a Zelda game. But you can always find like, well, here's how it's different from a Zelda game, or here's how Zelda's different from this. When I say Beyond Good and Evil is a Zelda clone,
it's a Zelda clone
in the most literal sense that there is.
Is it as blatant as Star Fox Adventures?
So I don't actually know.
Dang.
Um,
Because that's like
that was Zelda.
yeah, like
Yeah.
you can
play
only
Fox.
jump at the
It sucks.
edge of a ledge. Like there's Z targeting. There's like switch to
Yeah.
your long range weapon, and there's bats everywhere in the caves.
I'm actually
Yeah.
trying to remember now if Jade can jump without. I think she can. Because there's like some very minor platforming elements,
Okay.
but like real minor, like almost inconsequential. And instead of riding a horse, she's in this jet thing.
No.
But she fights with a staff.
She was on top of the pig. That'd be funny.
Oh no, the pig is a sentient being that would probably not appreciate being ridden at all, or eaten.
How
or
dare
anything.
you? The pig is a sentient being.
Animals are people
yeah,
too.
the world
in this
is
game,
the world's very odd because, and again, it's actually been a little while since I've played it because I played the remaster not long after it came out, so it's been a good 5 years since I've played this, and unfortunately, I didn't get to brush up on it at all. But Jade is human character in this world, right? I don't remember seeing like more than one. What's that?
Is she not human?
No, she's the only human.
Oh,
No, she's the only human.
Oh, okay, I heard a pot. She's human. I'm like,
oh no,
what?
Only human. And then like I don't remember there being other pigs. Every animal seems to only, if I remember right, again, it was only represented like one time. So I'm not really sure how that all works. But anyway, you live in this dystopian-ish future. Really should have played this more recently, or at least read up on it. But because I can remember a lot of things about the gameplay, I don't remember a whole lot about the plot. The plot did not really stick out to me or impress me. But anyway, she fights with a staff. There's a Z targeting like thing in the game. The combo is, if you push forward and attack, it does one thing. If if you're not pushing forward and attack, it does a different thing. There's different sorts of combos in it like that. Is there a jump attack? There probably is.
Yeah, okay.
If I remember correctly. So, and even the final boss, somewhat of the Ganon trope of he flings something at you and you fling it back at him. Yeah.
Tennis.
So yeah, you play tennis where the loser dies. So it's a very serious game.
Extreme tennis.
Right.
That's underground. That's the tennis you don't know about. It's like Fight Club. You're not allowed to talk about it. Extreme sudden death.
Fight tennis. Did we lose Joel?
No.
Oh no.
I just.
No way.
Sorry, I don't want to explain what just happened.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's why you turned your camera off, right?
Yes.
So you could have secrets that none of us get to know about. Yeah. So that anyway, so I've always thought of it like, if you like Zelda games for some reason you don't have a Nintendo console,
But this
was about as close as you're gonna get.
But this was on a Nintendo console.
There we go.
That's true. It was on a Nintendo.
Whatever.
But if you were an Xbot,
or only had a PS2,
yeah,
or
if you're an Xbot or a Sony pony, they still use those terms.
I like that. I have not heard those.
I have not heard
The
Sony
Xbot
Pony in quite a while, actually.
I think I've heard Sony Pony. I have not heard Xbot.
They call Nintendo people
Fanboys?
Fanboys?
Children?
I say you chill. I would say you'd think since I am one that somebody would have called me that
I'm like
whatever it is.
Nintendo fanboy. That's all I
A
can. Think of.
weeaboo. The term is
Oh, that's messed up. So
I'm pretty sure that's something else, but
Yes, the weeaboo is something else. But okay, I will never forget when the spelling and name of Amiibo was announced. Somebody very quickly took that font and turned it into weeaboo.
yeah, that didn't take very long.
And of course, they spelled it WII instead of W.
Yeah, they did.
Right.
Hold on.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Here, I'm actually on the Wikipedia page for this. So, for the game, not for Weeaboo. Spelled wrong.
Why are you looking at Weeaboo?
I'm gonna read a little bit about the plot of this since I can't remember it. So, Beyond Good and Evil takes place in the year 2435 on the mining planet of Hillies. It's Hillys. I guess it's Hillies. I don't know.
It's not
located in a
Hyrule,
remote
by the way.
section of the game. Yeah, it's close though. The architecture of the city around which the game takes place is rustic European style. There's email and credit cards, but there's fantasy tropes such as spaceships and anthropomorphic animals coexisting with humans. So Hillies is under siege by aliens called the Dom. I always pronounced it Domz. I don't know that that's actually how it's pronounced because there's no voice acting in this game, but it's DOMZ, and the D and the Z are capitalized.
So if it's DOMS, then the anime is Dragon Balls. But if it's DOMZ, then it's Dragon Ball Z.
Exactly. That's exactly right. They abduct beings. So the Domz they abduct beings and either drain their life force for power or implant them with spores to convert them into slaves. Prior to the opening of the game, a military dictatorship called the Alpha Sections has come to power on Hillies, promising to defend the populace. However, the Alpha Sections seem unable to stop the Domz despite its public assurance. The underground resistance movement, the Iris Network, that's one letter away from being very unfortunate, fights the Alpha Sections, leaving it to be in league with the Dom. And of course, as you play through the game, as if it's not obvious from that, you do eventually find out that the Alpha Sections and the Domz are one and the same, and that the Alpha Sections are not actually fighting Domz because they're working together. And so you uncover a conspiracy. And Jade is a photojournalist. I don't know how I forgot that because taking pictures of things is actually a
I was like, that's a thing. I remember that
mechanic in the game. So you travel the world and collect things and upgrade your character much in the same way that Link upgrades his hearts and wallet. And because if I remember right, there is even a getting a bigger whatever this game's version of a money purse thing is, what a wallet. It's
you
it's
collect
a lot
gems.
of fun.
I don't remember.
You collect something like them, gems, orbs. It does have. So I guess when I said it was a Zelda clone, what I really meant was it's the closest thing to a Zelda clone you're gonna find because there is some collectathon ishness to it, and
go find this
Zelda.
MacGuffin so you can go get the other MacGuffin, and we can have a mega MacGuffin.
And while Zelda occasionally asks you to collect a lot of things, like the end of the original version of Wind Waker, when it's like, okay, go find 8 million pieces of the Triforce and call me when you're done.
Yeah.
It felt like 8 million because it was really long.
Because you had to find you had to find the stupid
map pieces,
like the maps, and then you have
to find the map.
You have to get them, decoded. What's the word?
Yeah, so you had to go to
into you had to find Tingle and take it to him, and he would put it on on the main map, and then you had to. They were charts. They weren't just maps. You had to find the little charts, and then take it to Tingle, pay him a ridiculous amount of money, and then go to that spot on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it like 300 or something? Yeah, it was 397.
Yes, it was an oddly specific amount of money.
Then it was like it sucked because then you didn't have enough money even if you had the biggest wallet
Yeah.
to get them all done at the same time.
You had to go out and farm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or play
Yeah.
the sliding puzzle a couple times.
Mhm. It's so bad. Okay, so speaking of Tingle, you guys saw the Breath of the Wild DLC stuff at E3, right?
Yeah, he's going to be in it.
I missed that part.
Yeah, I'm so happy that there's a Tingle outfit for Link. It's gonna be so awesome. Because now all my cutscenes can have Link dressed as Tingle in it.
For
Nolan needs
future
to get the game
reference,
so he knows what
Jenny,
I'm talking about.
sorry, I'm responding to Jenny. She's talking about collectathons, and a lot of people don't like them these days. But that's my favorite genre. So I have Ukulele for PS4 sitting in the drawer. I'm just really waiting for it to come out on Switch. I just really like that game, so I want to buy it twice. But yeah, so Legend of Zelda does collectathon right, except when there's 900 things to collect, and that's not even exaggeration.
That's the
So
downside.
literally 900 Koroks.
And I can't believe that someone has already done it.
Several
Even
people
without
have.
the little Korok mask thing. Like,
Yeah.
what do you do for a living? Clearly nothing.
Well, the one guy I know, that's his job, is to complete games 100%.
Okay. Is it the completionist?
The
by any
completionist,
It is, in
chance?
fact.
He actually
Yeah, okay. Well,
said, I'm not going to
Right.
do it on release week because that's crazy. Give me a month or two.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
think so in the last week of April, he finally completed it and did a video. And yeah.
also,
and
so when he said a month or two, he meant it.
Yeah. And so he said April. And so I think it was in the last week of April was when he finally finished and did the video. And he went on a tirade about 900 Koroks. It's way too many.
So is he, to be the completionist, is he going to have to do it again in hard mode?
Probably, yeah.
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 He did an update video for Splatoon because there was all that DLC that released. And so he spent a year completing the DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And
I read Eurogamer had an article where they said that the treats hard mode and regular mode as two different threads of save files. So you can actually start a hard mode without wiping out your regular mode.
Yeah, because as it is right now, you have to have more than one me in order to have multiple save files.
Yeah. More than one.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, more than one.
Oh.
Yeah, the game kind of behaves like Skyrim would on Xbox 360.
Or like the
Your
original Final
profile is
Fantasy on NES, there's only one save file.
Yeah, there's just the
Yeah,
one. Or every Pokemon game ever.
Oh yeah.
That bummed me out.
There's
You
just too
don't
much
realize-
going on in that game, though. I mean, what other RPG has 151 characters in it?
Or 700 and
90,
whatever.
Yeah, 762, or I think is the current number. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I wanna say
Speaking
it's
of,
like 8. Hold on.
Oh, now Nolan has to know because he's a pro.
yeah, no, speaking of
I want to say it's like
Nolan,
800 something.
No,
Hold
it's
on.
7 something.
already,
Hold
that's
on.
ridiculous.
Okay, Google, how many Pokemon are there?
I hope so many people's phones.
802. Oh, dang.
Yeah,
He's
see?
wrong.
All right, 102.
I'm like, it's
Wow.
800
I
something.
apologize.
That's ridiculous. Nolan, are you getting Ultra something when it comes out?
What do you think? Come on.
It
Which one?
probably. I haven't even beat. Yeah, which one?
I mean, personally, I kind of liked Moon better than Sun. I do have both. I will readily admit that.
Because I'm like, Patrick, you are a weeaboo. I'm sorry.
I don't deny it.
Yeah, I know you come
yeah.
by it honestly. That's why I said it.
Yeah, no. So I'll probably get Ultra Moon. Is probably the one I'm gonna get, but it depends. At this point, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm gonna get Ultra Moon.
I feel like I have to beat the one I have before I can justify buying the Ultra.
Yeah,
Haven't
that'd
done
probably
yet.
help.
And I also feel like I need to beat which I've got one of the Game Boy Virtual Console. I think it's red. Whichever one I have. I know it's not yellow. I've either got red or blue. I feel like I need to beat it before I can justify beating because they announced the gold and silver for Virtual Console.
Oh, they did?
Oh,
Is
you
that-
don't know about that?
There was a
No,
Pokemon
I
Direct.
like caught bits and pieces. I haven't been able to see the entire thing.
That was actually in a Pokemon Direct before E3.
Okay, see, I don't, and I always miss the Pokemon Directs. So
I know it wasn't out as of the time of the Direct because it wasn't like and it's out now kind of a thing, but it might be out at this point. You'd have to check. Well, then, in case you missed it, welcome to Original Gamers Podcast Tangent. They during the E3 thing, they also, I mean, like it was like the Metroid Prime 4 logo. They just said, "Hey, we're working on a mainline Switch Pokemon game," and that was literally it. Metroid Prime 4 had more because they made a graphic. The Pokemon was just a dude sitting at a desk, and for all we know, in Japanese, he said, "I like ramen noodles," and the English guy said, "There's a Pokemon game for Switch coming." I have no idea. I don't speak Japanese.
Yeah. Well,
so
according to Polygon, the gold and silver re-release will be out on September 22nd. I can't talk suddenly.
Gold and Silver.
September 22nd. So it's end of summer.
Huh. Okay. You can relive all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you are older than the first Pokemon game.
The reason why Nolan and I are giggling is because he made a pun in the chat.
I made a pun.
Oh,
it made me laugh.
I can't see the chat. This isn't fair.
I'm sorry. Pull out your phone.
It's probably
I was gonna say,
probably
just get your
about
phone.
pun about me. Whatever. I have the show notes on my phone.
Your
You are a
nickname is a pun.
No.
You're a huge cow patty.
Yeah.
My
That's
nickname
true.
is a pun. I'm
Man.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Mhm. And Nolan's base, man, that's not a pun. That's just a thing.
Kind of.
It is when people think it says bass.
Bass, why are we fighting?
That was that,
I am not your
So they think-
enemy.
That I'm saying.
the say now that
He's
there's
the
that
best
guy.
man.
What's his name? They calls himself Stick Base Man, running around beating up people. Do you ever get confused for him? Probably not.
Stick base man? I have
You
not
know
heard
what
of
I'm
that.
You even know what I'm talking. Yeah, apparently
don't.
there's this guy that goes to you know how it over those colleges out in California and then they protest everything. Apparently now there's a counter protester who shows up to these things known as Stick Base Man and he hits people. I don't know.
I see.
It's Californians in your fights. I don't get it.
Okay.
I don't either. I've lived here most of my life.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right, we got to somehow bring it back around to Beyond Good and Evil.
Beyond Good and
so
Evil does not take
Nolan,
place in California.
It does not, unfortunately.
You do hit people though.
With
Uh-huh.
a stick?
So it's actually yes, with a staff that we're going to call a stick. Anyway, so that's that. Where I'm trying to see if I can. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so Nolan, you played the original on what?
Actually, on the Xbox, my buddy had it.
You used a potato controller.
I did. It was terrible.
Yeah.
The Duke.
It was actually terrible. Because and to this day, like until you said it was on all of them, I thought this game was only on Xbox.
Oh, that's funny. Because
Like,
Patrick
it
thought
was-
this is only on GameCube.
Yeah. So I played it on the giant give your hand a cramp if you play for too long.
Yeah.
The original one. Obviously.
I actually didn't hate that controller.
Mhm.
Now when they were saying before the console came out and they had like press events and stuff for it, they were like, "Mate, we did extensive research and figured out that this is the optimal design." And I'm like, "No,
the
you
most
didn't."
ergonomic controller to date.
Yeah, like no,
Uh-huh.
you
Not
didn't.
true.
Quit lying to me.
Don't lie.
You gave some crayons to your 4-year-old and then gave that to your controller design team and said, "Make this." And this is what happened.
This is what
Now,
happened.
do I
Look
believe?
at it. Look at it.
Do I believe that they did that when designing the Xbox 360 controller? Yeah, sure, because that controller's awesome.
It
This
is.
first one is not.
It's terrible. You
You
can't even reach unless you got giant, like massive, long thumbs and giant hands.
Yeah.
Which I do
And
have
like
pretty big
the
hands. But
what were those, the black and white buttons that didn't really have names
They were the
that were
black and
above
white
the
buttons.
I don't even know.
they
Weren't they
I always
programmable?
felt like they might have been.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I always felt like when you like for some reason the top of it actually felt like it was leaning away from you, like the button was trying to get away from you.
Yeah.
Don't touch me.
It was just weird.
because-
the whole control.
Like Nintendo figured out a long time
It's
ago
weird.
that 4 buttons on the face on the right hand side is the optimal number.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, when you have more than 4, you need to start going to the shoulders, and you're like, oh, let's put shoulder button. They were the first ones to do that, by the way. And
Mhm.
and yeah, because Sega had 6 on the Genesis controller. At least they were very close together, but like Nintendo was like, no,
Well, the-
4. And
the launch Genesis controller had 3.
yeah, it had 3, but eventually
And
there were 6. And yeah, but Nintendo figured it out a long time ago, and you would have thought that, because Sony copied Nintendo, Microsoft would have copied Sony. And they're like, oh yeah, let's put 4 on the face, and then we'll just have shoulder buttons for the extra. Oh,
Right. Didn't the Saturn have weird button layout on it too?
Oh my
I don't
God.
actually
Vaguely.
I never played the Saturn.
The Dreamcast controller was actually kind of nice
Super
because
Saturn.
it turned the shoulder buttons into triggers, and I want to say that was the
Oh.
first time that had happened.
So the Saturn was like about the size of a CD. It was round, like perfect circle,
Yeah,
and it had a thumbstick, but then the rest of it was like a Genesis controller. It had 6 buttons in the D-pad. That was one giant plastic piece, and a start button in the middle.
right. Yeah, I knew it was weird.
Yeah, and handles.
Sega, because Sega can't just do normal anything.
No, why? Normal is so
Dreamcast
overrated.
controller- The Dreamcast controller was not bad. I
No.
actually really liked it.
Apparently,
And
there
that
was
the
there was
the
a-
first time.
There is a re-release of the Saturn controller that's more like a PlayStation controller,
Okay.
but
Mm.
yeah, it's called the Mark One
With-
NA something. I don't know.
They were like, "Oops, the first one was dumb. We fixed it." Like
It's
Microsoft
dumb.
did with the Xbox control. This one's dumb. We made a better one for Japanese people, but they didn't buy our console, so no one cared.
Specifically for Japanese people.
Right. And then they released it here as that was the first time they used the S, because I think they called that controller the S controller.
Is it?
Yeah. And it stood for sucks less.
Sounds like
Sucks. Oh, man.
or for Segata Sanchiro.
Sanchiro.
So is that that thing you guys had me look up?
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever I found was like a string of those commercials. I only got around to watching the first one, but I was like, this is weird.
It is.
He's like
This
is
Japan's
definitely
version of
Death
Chuck
Battle.
Norris.
Weird.
Death Battle
Yeah.
against Chuck Norris, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
it
here's
was
a grown man and he
fantastic.
just beat up those children. It would never fly here.
Probably not.
Like an R-rated comedy.
It's like
Then they might have gotten away with it. But definitely not on broadcast television. Just no way.
I don't know. There were some pretty weird
Um,
commercials in the 80s.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Speaking of
Mhm.
of I don't know why I'm speaking of the 80s because this is probably more associated with the 70s. Did you guys hear that this rumor that Atari's making a new game console?
I did.
Yep.
I saw
What
something
is
about it this
this?
morning.
What in the? I don't know anything other than the headline.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I feel like they're gonna go like Ouya. Like it's just
Oh,
gonna be
gosh.
marketed as this amazing thing, and it's not gonna go over well.
Yeah, that stinks.
It's too much hype. Like Atari can never live up to the hype that was the 2600. Like because
Mhm.
You know, it's going to be funny though, if they do make it, and I just pray to God that the launch title is going to be just a super HD version of ET.
Oh man,
Imagine that, if
Like,
you will.
you know
Like
that there's
hype.
somebody out there who's going to buy a dev kit just to port ET to the new
Yeah.
Atari console.
Yes.
And it'll be
man.
like hyper realistic. ET will look just like he does in the movie.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But
Like
but
first
it's gonna
person.
have all of the awful sound effects from the original game.
Yeah,
Oh, it
yeah.
needs to. No, all the awful sound effects that have been like put in HD instead of just like the
Oh gosh. So like somebody recorded it from an Atari, but like with a high fidelity microphone, and
yeah.
so even though it's this horrible
Yeah, it's
sounding file, the wave files are like
streaming at 192.
17 megabytes. Yeah,
4K.
they're huge. But yeah, one sound file on that game is bigger than the ET game was.
Yeah.
Those are like 4K or something like that.
4K. It's VR.
Hold on.
It's
I
for
actually I have
PlayStation
to
VR.
figure out this now. Like how
That'd be
much
fantastic.
memory was
How
Not
much
very
memory
much.
is on the ET cart?
part? Okay.
This is
10-bit
the riveting
processor.
stuff.
What the heck?
This
Sorry.
is the riveting stuff
10-bit?
that people tune in for.
Okay, no, the processor was 10 bits, which is
Oh.
super weird.
Like what?
Yeah, because they're usually
That's nothing.
divisible by 4.
Yeah, well, it ended up being an 8-bit. I guess 10-bit was the rumor.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you get 10 bits.
So it's a byte.
Well, there are 128 bytes of RAM. That's bytes, not kilobytes. 128 bytes of RAM.
Is high quality stuff right there, man. Just next gen.
Wow.
There's probably more storage on this 8-bit DOE gamepad for the firmware.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is the microprocessor on the NES Classic controller is faster than the original NES's processor.
That's fantastic.
Like, yeah.
Best thing ever. I really hope that they redo that. Even if they don't redo the NES Classic, just redo the controller to be compatible with the Switch. Because I get kind of why they did it the way they did it, so that it'll plug into your Wii remote and you can use your Wii U, your regular Wii. But that thing's dead. Let's move on now. Give me an NES. Although I guess they don't have to. I could go buy an 8-bit DOE NES controller.
That's true. But you know what they really should have done?
Works just fine.
Made more of the classics. That way people
That's
could
true.
enjoy them and they make more money, as opposed to making like
Less money.
almost no. Like how many did they even make? I don't even remember. It was such a small amount.
I don't know,
Like,
but I did hear that Nintendo has been spending the last years actually buying a lot of the manufacturing. Like they're not. I mean, like I'm sure they're using Foxconn and stuff like that, but a lot of the plants that are manufacturing their stuff, they own them now. And so what I heard was that they really needed to ramp up production of the Switch, And that had a lot to do with why there's not very many NES classics, even though the reason that they'll tell you is, well, it was supposed to be a niche product for a very select few. You're like, no, that's bullcrap. You just didn't have the capacity to do this. Just tell us.
Okay. So I finally
I don't
found
like
an
being lied
answer
to.
to
Okay.
my initial. I was correct.
how-
There's only 4 kilobytes of storage on an Atari cartridge. Blah.
Cartridge.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
that
And that's why that game is the way that it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have more storage capacity in my alarm clock
Probably do.
sitting right there. I mean, I don't even know, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's this
Yeah.
game we're supposed to be talking about.
That thing we
What?
do that we're here for.
Oh yeah. There's some weird woman and a pig, man.
Yeah. And they're not dating, so it's not weird or anything like that.
Yeah.
There's
Don't
just
call it
no
weird.
creepy
You'll upset all the
romance.
birds.
Although, while we're talking about weird dating relationships, and this is going to start another tangent. Is it weird that no one hasn't played this game? Okay, slight spoilers. It's not a huge deal, but it's something you might not just know from hearing things. It's not weird that Link is dating a Zora chick in Breath of the Wild.
I think
It's
that
about
relationship
time.
totally went one way.
Goodness
I'm
sake.
pretty sure she had a
That's-
crush on him and he was indifferent.
So it's like Ocarina of Time.
as he
Yes.
usually is.
The whole game is a callback to the entire Zelda franchise.
Okay.
So, yes. So if you remember, in Ocarina of Time, there was a Zora who kind of crushed on Link. She was the princess.
Kinda?
Oh yeah.
Kinda?
No,
She
there was no
proposed to
kind
the
of
man.
about that. Like
Well,
straight up
no.
stalking.
No, she
What's
gave him
happening?
the sapphire and was like, well, this is like an engagement ring. So she totally blackmailed him or something.
Straight- Then it's like, don't tell my father.
Yeah.
Well, then when you find her in the water temple, it's like,
Yeah, okay. So Jenny just pointed this out. Wow, we are
Yeah.
so far gone now. Yes, she made the suit of armor, which is a wedding
Yeah.
gift.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah,
there you go.
she more than proposed. She yeah.
Yeah, she had
Cough,
a
cough,
wedding
yonder.
plan, and
Yandere to the extreme.
then
Mm.
Calamity Ganon ruined everything. Like
Yeah.
a jerk. So
what a
yeah,
pig.
and actually when you guys were talking about one-sided relationships, for some reason my mind went to Sari or
10 out of 10.
Sari. How do you sorry? Yeah. and
Saria?
I was like, yeah.
Sir- Oh,
Yeah, she's kind of got a thing for him, and he clearly
I
just
think
doesn't
so.
care.
I don't know.
She's
That was always weird.
she's an immortal spirit, of the forest that looks like a child. That's
Exactly.
I don't know.
That's true. So maybe not. Maybe I read too much into it.
I think she
I
was
don't know. It felt like she. I mean, the whole thing was that she was friendly and nice to Link,
Mhm.
and jerk.
No one else was.
Well, yeah, but
It's true.
jerkbag, whatever his name, I don't care
The
enough.
Great Mito.
Yeah, thank you. Mito didn't like Link because Soraya liked Link or was nice to Link,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah.
to me it made it seem. And then she gives him the ocarina, so it kind of feels
As a
like
token of friendship.
yeah.
And then he throws it away as soon as he gets a fancy blue one.
I know.
Oh yeah. He's like, forget this.
I
Look
don't
at
need
this.
this anymore.
This one time travel.
Also, it's from the princess.
Speeds
so
up
it's-
time and slows down. Yeah. It's special. I guess the only time that there's ever been real two-way romantic between Link and anyone was Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword.
Mhm.
Oh,
She,
that made me so happy. I was like,
I cried.
yes.
I'm not ashamed to admit it.
I know.
I don't know if I cried. I'm not, and not because I'm ashamed to admit it, because I definitely cried during video games. I just don't know if I cried during that one.
There was a couple times. It was when she sealed herself, and then at the end with what's her face, the sword spirit.
Fi.
Feet,
Fo
yeah.
Fum.
Fi.
It was like
Oh yeah, whatever it is.
you start to like her, and then that happens. I got so.
I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about how these digital assistants are getting popular, and that Nintendo needs to make one, and it's fine.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
Just this. I'm like, I would totally carry it. I would carry that around
I've
me everywhere.
totally got the soundbite where Fi says Master Link as a text tone. I don't have it assigned to anybody because there's nobody in my life to call me that, but
Yeah.
I've got it on my phone.
good job.
For when it
Just
happens.
in case it
For
happens.
when it happens,
Yep.
start texting.
All right.
Just, hello.
Yep. Hello,
start
Master
texting.
Link.
Master Link.
So yeah,
Beyond Good and Evil.
yeah, and I don't know that I have anything else to say about it. Other than it's a good game.
Okay, I'll point out something.
I'm
When
a-
I was writing up the what is this called? Show notes, filling out the
Yes.
credits. There's actually a story credit or a writer credit rather on Wikipedia because this game has a real story, like
Oh
beginning,
yeah,
middle, and end. And that's not something that happens very often in classic games, that we cover here on this show.
Yeah.
So this is definitely a much more, modern end of classic gaming, where there's real story in your games now. So that's just an interesting little thing I noticed. So if you like story in your games, I don't know why, but if you do, then this is probably a good one to play.
I'm looking up. Yes, it is. If you have an Xbox One, it is part of their backwards compatibility program, the HD version of it. So
I heard that the Xbox One X is going to be backwards compatible to the original Xbox discs. So that's a thing.
Yes, and actually, now I want to look this up because heard was that they're adding original Xbox backwards compatibility to the entire Xbox One family, and that they're or at least looking into how, if it's possible or not, making original Xbox games function on Windows 10.
Oh, what?
So don't quote me on that. I would look it up, but my phone is at 6%. I don't know why I plug it in right here, so I don't want to. But yeah, that's what I heard. And again, I didn't watch the E3 presentation, but that was on a Microsoft focused podcast, not the IGN one, something else. I think it was What the Tech, which they usually focus on Windows, but they did talk about Xbox. Yeah, that's what they said. So again, I didn't actually read that for myself or see it anywhere. So I could be wrong. Maybe Joel's got it right. Maybe I've got it right. Maybe none of us have it right. Maybe what they really meant to say was you'll be able to put your Xbox games in a Switch.
That's obviously what they meant.
That disk drive that they've got over there.
Yeah.
So
speaking of, seeing several articles when I just Googled Xbox backwards compatibility that it looks like the one family will be backwards compatible. I'm not seeing anything right now about Windows.
Okay. Which, I mean, if they make it backwards compatible with the Xbox, since technically Xbox Ones are running a version of Windows 10, I don't see any reason why.
Which is the reason why you get a Windows version of when you buy the game.
Right. When you're going forward. Anyway, starting with, I want to say Gears of War 4 was the first one. And then I think Phil Spencer said every first party game from that moment on. As long as you buy it digitally, you'll get a digital version for PC, which of course will mean you're getting store version of it and not the Steam version of it, if that matters to you. But I guess if you want to play cross-platform, PC to Xbox. That's what. Speaking of other cool E3 things, Rocket League's coming to Switch, and you'll be able to play with everyone but PlayStation owners, and that's Sony's fault.
Oh,
Mad about that. Go
It's
talk
like
to Sony.
like Nintendo and Sony have good relations. What the heck?
Yeah, that it's well, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know what if this had to do with Rocket League, but I know they got interviewed about why Sony's not allowing craft users to play cross-platform. And because even interestingly, even when you play Minecraft online on the Switch version, once this cross-platform, because I don't think the cross-platform thing works on it yet, but when they patch it, someone's actually like recorded the how you do it. You're actually logging into Xbox Live from the Switch's little faux web browser thing that it's got in it.
Dang.
And that's how they're making that work, and that's how it's working on PC and Xbox and Android, and I'd probably iOS, because all of these work in it. And Sony got interviewed and asked, like, why are you not allowing cross network play? And they said something to the effect of, well, we just want to make sure our users are safe, which Phil Spencer took to mean that Sony thinks that Microsoft doesn't do anything to protect their users, and got kind of pissed off about it.
Wait a second.
So-
Wasn't it the PlayStation 3
Yes.
that had that major
Yep.
outage? What was it,
Little
27
secret, yes.
days or something?
Something like that, yeah.
No, it's like it was when Destiny came out.
Yeah, well,
It was that Christmas. I remember that.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was
And then
all
what
said about
wasn't it also Sony Pictures that had that big email leak?
Yeah, well, like Sony in
Yeah.
general got
Right.
attacked.
Just saying, Sony.
I know.
Just saying.
Like, there's been like
You know.
2 minor outages on Xbox Live in its lifetime. Like,
I feel like the longest it's ever been down consecutively was like 3 days
yeah,
on Christmas when it was happening. So, so that's a little weird. But yeah, I would assume that it's the same reason for Rocket League, because again, they're the only ecosystem where cross-platform play is not available, which I think is weird, because they're also the only ecosystem where you can play Final Fantasy 11 and 14 with PC players.
Mhm.
With it then, now, this doesn't make any sense.
You still
well,
play 11?
I think you can still play 11.
you can play it on PC. PS2 server shut down a long time ago.
Okay.
But
Oh, that's right. That was on PS2, not PS3.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Xbox 360 version of 11 was walled off to only Xbox Live.
Yeah.
So playing in a barren
because the
wasteland.
PC version used its own client.
Mm-hmm.
So I would imagine that the 14 PC version, the client is able to talk to Sony servers.
Yeah. And that was the reason why Square Enix didn't put 14 on Xbox, was because of how 11 wound up working.
Well,
out, so.
and it doesn't make much sense. There isn't really a market for it for Xbox owners. Like the people who buy Xboxes don't play MMOs hardly.
Right.
Unless
We want to
it's
play
Destiny.
Halo. We want to play Halo and Gears, and I guess some of us want to play Destiny. Never interested me, but I see the appeal. So, and we want to play Beyond Good and Evil HD.
Yeah, we do.
Yep. Okay, so go play this game. It's good.
Mhm.
And I guess you can still get it on PC, because PC is. I guess it's not like infinitely backwards compatible, because I can't run Sonic R. I can't run Sonic R on my PC, so clearly
Steam is a thing.
something's wrong. That's true.
Oh,
And
that's a
if
good point.
But there's no.
if Sega has no shame, they will eventually release Sonic R on Steam.
I mean, they're putting all those all the platinum games that they published. Bayonetta 1 is now on Steam. Vanquish is now on Steam. So
Beta
I keep
2, I don't
hearing-
think will ever come to Steam though. That was
No, well,
that was a
because
special
Nintendo.
deal. Yeah.
Yeah, and I keep hearing that whoever like the guy at Platinum is keeps talking about.
Oh man, I know his name. If I heard it, I would say, "Oh yeah, that's the guy at Platinum that
Yeah.
hates everyone."
So now, and of course, all he says about it is that he hopes it will exist one day. So whether Nintendo decides to try and keep that franchise tied to them or not is yet to be seen. Or if anybody wants to keep it around is yet to be seen. I can't. It really sucks that.
Hideki
canceled.
Kamiya.
Would
Kamiya. Hideki Kamiya. That's the guy
said
over
his
in-
name. You weren't sneezing. Okay.
Sorry, no.
Good job.
Yep. So
Yeah. If you
I
ever
just defended all of Japan.
if you ever tweet any kind of criticism about Kamiya's games, he'll block you on Twitter.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. He's like
fellow.
super like I hate that this word gets thrown out a lot, but he's like a Nazi with this kind of thing. So
Wow. You shouldn't say that about Japanese people. It's a little close home. Anyway.
It's close to home. Really?
Okay, anyway.
I'm confused.
Before we
Let's wrap it up.
Transition.
Yeah.
Before we transition into our games, I have an announcement that I should have pulled up before
Starting the talk about it.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Holy cow! I have 23 notifications in Facebook. I think the last time that happened was I probably took a
Birthday?
break from Facebook, and this is just from the last couple of hours because I was on it earlier. Come on, dadgummit. Right, here we go. All right, here we go. This is from our new tournament manager, Tyler. He says, "Hey guys, it's Tyler, the new tournament director for ZFG." Oh, he said it in there. I didn't have to tell you. And I'm announcing our first tournament under new tournament leadership. We are hosting a Hearthstone tournament on the 6th of July, which, yes, is a Thursday. That's just when we had available. And we want you to be a part of it. It's free to enter. All you have to do is hop on over to the challenge link. That link is in this thing that I'm. So this is actually on the CrossForge Gaming main page, and it has been shared to the Joe. You'll be able to find this, and the challenge link is in the description here. And yeah, so that's going on. Let's see. There's a question here about prize. Is there a prize pool? At the moment, we are planning on a gift card for the winner. So there you go. No information on exactly what that is going to be, but yeah, so sign up for that. Hearthstone is free, so you have no reason to not play unless it's just that you don't like card games. And if that's the case, what's wrong?
Digital card games.
Yes. Also, I know
Children's
I
card
was
games.
planning on, when I streamed ARMS, doing that with collaboration with Patrick Fagan, Gamma Lad. That just because of work schedules and stuff didn't work out. We are still trying to do it, so hopefully that'll happen here soon. And Splatoon
Do you have Mario Kart
2
8?
when it eventually
I would
launches.
love-
What's
Does
that?
he have Mario Kart 8? Because I would love to try that again.
Ooh, can't imagine that he doesn't. I'll have to ask him,
Yeah.
see if maybe we can we
It's
can get that going.
That was a weird day
Um,
when you scheduled that. Like I was so off that
Yeah.
day, and never made it online.
Right. Yeah, so there's that. Also, any details yet, but like I said, keep September 9th on your calendars available because we're doing something special that day. Can't say what it is. See how high my voice can go. Okay. That's gonna hurt after a while. Yeah.
Hold on,
yeah,
let me
so
turn up
there's-
the high highs on my equalizer here.
Yeah, do it.
Start
Listen.
They're breaking windows. Like, what is happening? Yeah, so we got a lot of really cool things happening and in the works, and it's gonna be fun. All right. Do we want to play Guess the Metacritic Score or just go on to 20 questions?
Sure.
Let's
I
go
haven't looked at
guess
the
Metacritic.
score.
This game is new enough.
Okay,
To
let
have
me
a
see if I
Metacritic
can.
score.
Let me see if I can find it before my phone dies. Let's see. Beyond. Well, here, y'all go ahead and or think about it, and I'll see if I can't find it.
About what? Oh, our numbers.
Yeah, y'all throw out your
okay.
guesses.
Oh, okay. Let's
Metacritic
see.
score.
Okay. Well, when I was reading about this, I know that it was critically acclaimed, even though it didn't sell well.
That is true.
'Cause I know this has just a cult following of like the biggest, in the biggest way.
In the best way, not the weird way. Like
No,
Pony has a cult following.
That's
Yes.
I feel like that's actually a cult. No, just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go high on this one. It's probably gonna be too much. I'm gonna go like 83.
All right.
I was gonna say 80.
Yeah.
You still gonna say 80?
Yeah.
Okay. Nolan is only one away at 84.
Ah,
Dang. Good
I
job.
almost
There you go.
even almost said 84.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, one for one.
and actually, and the user score is 85 or 8.5. I don't know why those scales are different on that website because 8.5 is still just 85, but whatever. So the users and the critics actually agreed, which doesn't happen a whole lot.
Not really.
Although I did discover on Rotten Tomatoes that this was while I was having a discussion with somebody over whether or not Zootopia was any good. And I was like, I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm going to look up on Rotten Tomatoes. And critics and viewers were like, this movie's great. And I went, well, okay, I'm in the minority. I'm apparently the only one on the face of the planet that did not like this movie.
That's not true.
So,
I know other people that don't like it, but
yeah. So, I mean, I didn't hate it. Just, it just wasn't amazing or anything. All right. So,
I've seen a break 'cause
rotation.
I've seen it like probably 20 times in the
Like
last
9,000.
like 6 months. So
That's awful.
I'm just like,
I've seen it once.
Yeah, I saw it once. That was enough.
the perils
right.
of working with kids.
I really liked it.
I enjoy it. I liked it.
I do believe Joel
Yes.
Yeah,
Trying to
is
find a
up
game
for.
that's what we're talking still.
Yeah.
Taking a bit.
So
I don't want to play
Yeah,
that.
so
Why does he keep suggesting that?
little inside baseball. An episode of this show is our. I almost said highest rated, like it's television. Is our best performing video on our YouTube channel. It was the DuckTales episode of this.
hey,
Bad.
all right.
So it's
Why?
got,
Well, I
got
mean,
a little
DuckTales.
traction.
Giving me the same 3 games.
DuckTales is so
and then
long.
And then I think right behind it is my ARMS live stream that just happened this past Friday.
And I'm bummed I missed that. I had a family thing to go to at that exact time. I'm like, oh,
the game's a lot of fun. I'm hoping to stream it again sometime soon.
that's
And
good.
then the best performing episode of Patty Plays Pathetically is actually the episode that I thought was the worst, and it's Amnesia.
See, I still wish I could have seen that
Yeah,
live. 'Cause I'm
figure.
like looking at
People
the cuts you
really
did.
like horror games for whatever reason.
It's
They
fun to
like-
watch people play.
Freak out.
Yeah,
And-
exactly.
yeah.
That's why it's like
That's the thing. I mean, and I guess just because I didn't freak out doesn't mean that the people who watched it knew that going into it. So they probably were like, "Oh, this guy played Amnesia," and then we're just really bummed.
Well,
a little bit. You also stop the game right when the scary starts to happen.
That's probably true, but
So-
that's because I spent like 20 minutes looking for a freaking door.
That's because you were infatuated with the chair. And whatever was happening in the wall.
What did I name it? Was it
I don't even know.
Air or something like that?
Something. It was like people are gonna get upset because it's gonna be the most entertaining part of this entire game. Is this wall and the chair?
That's when I threw the broom and it got stuck in the wall.
Yeah,
And
that's what
I overlaid text on the screen that says this is literally the most entertaining thing that happened the entire time I was playing. So, all right, you got a game, Joel?
I do have a game.
So, if you're new to the show, We play 20 questions to find out what game we're going to play next, and each week we don't pick the game collectively. Obviously, if we did, 20 questions wouldn't be very much fun because we would all know what it is. So Joel picked the game this week. The only rule for the game is that it has to be 10 years old. That rule has actually changed from our previous rule, which was that it had to be from the PS2, GameCube, Xbox original generation and back. But Pro and the Xbox One X and the Switch all came out at weird times. We were like, it's just 10 years. So
10 years.
Do it. So
don't waste a question by asking if this is 10 years old or older.
Yes.
Okay.
You already know. All right. So Nolan.
Let's see. What's what I usually go with? Do you play? Oh, okay. So does the main character or characters have a like very distinguished look? I don't mean like they look nice. I mean, or not distinguished, like
distinctive. I think
distinctive. Thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
a distinctive look.
Yes, but I feel like I need to clarify that.
Okay.
I don't know if this is something. I don't know if you would know this game at all, actually. So,
Okay.
well, the main character is very distinctive because that's how main characters are.
Yeah.
It's not an icon or something that you would recognize.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
Not an icon in the gaming industry, you know. So,
Okay.
I'm sorry. If that's
that
too
works.
much of a hint.
Dang it, it's not Bubsy. All right.
No.
Sad.
I don't play bad games.
Oh, that would have been fantastic.
Actually, I don't know how good this
Or
game
Era
is.
the Acrobat.
It's an all right game.
Was this game published by its platform holder?
Yes.
Okay.
This
So
game
that means it is either Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, Sega, or I guess even Atari.
I filter out Atari games.
It's
I think I'm the only one here who has an Atari.
probably. I don't have one. Did this come out after January 1st, 1990?
Yes.
Okay.
Before January 1st, 2000.
No.
Okay.
All right. So
So
between 2000 and 2007.
Is this a multi-platform game?
No.
Okay.
I feel like you wasted that question.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure. Well, because I realized that, but sometimes there's a game that's on a handheld and on the main console. In that way, like PS2 and PSP, there have been stuff like that. So I just wanted to,
Gotcha.
or like a tie-in situation. So,
or like last week, DuckTales was on the NES and the Game Boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Two platforms.
Exactly.
Right.
But it's kind of an exclusive at the same time. So yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a PlayStation game?
Yes.
All right.
6.
Okay.
So
either
on the PS2
is this on the PS2?
Yes, it's on the PS2.
Okay.
Oh gosh, we're out of my. Is it
The single highest library of games on a single console.
I know, right?
Is it a collectathon?
I don't think you would actually classify it as that.
Okay.
Okay.
But apparently you do collect things in it.
Is this a platformer?
There are platforming elements.
Okay.
Okay. Is the main character an anthropomorphic animal?
No.
No.
Okay.
I feel like this is a game that most people haven't heard of.
Okay.
So like, it's probably gonna be pretty difficult for you to pick it on or to figure it out. But I picked it anyway.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you play as like one like do you have a sidekick with you or do you play as one person?
No, it's just the one person.
Okay.
All right.
That's
What was
10
that?
questions.
That was question 10. Yeah.
Okay.
Is the main mode of combat through melee weapons?
Yes.
Or
Okay. So I do
okay.
need to clarify in that last question. You do have a companion animal,
Okay.
but I don't think you ever play as the companion.
Okay.
Okay. And then you said the combat is melee
The
based.
combat is melee.
Okay. Hmm.
PlayStation Battle Royale. No, that's PS3.
Yeah, it was PS3, and that game is less than 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Sounds like it's not one of the main like hits. That wasn't a question.
Yeah, I know it. Sony developed, but a game that a lot of people have never heard of. That's what's weird about this.
You have
And
a
it's on-
companion animal, but you don't play as the companion. It's primarily melee
It's on PS2.
with platforming elements. Is this game like you play on a like you play this level, then you go to the next one, or is there like a hub situation?
Well, you gotta ask yes or no questions. So
What?
pick. You gotta ask yes or no questions. So pick
Oh,
one
sorry.
of those and go with
Right.
it.
Right. Okay. Does this have a hub world where you start this and then you go to other things?
No,
Like-
I think it tries to present itself as open world,
Okay.
Okay.
but
Huh.
yeah, there's no like real hub area. It's an adventure.
Okay.
Gosh.
So it was 12, I
Yeah.
think.
It was on PS2. It's well, I asked if it was published by Sony. I didn't ask who developed it. So is the developer a Western developer?
Technically, yes.
Okay, so that
Okay.
it could be Naughty Dog, it could be Sony Santa Monica. Those are the only two I can think of.
I don't know. I'm like
I guess it could be Insomniac also, because Sony published a lot of their stuff too.
Oh, you say you don't play as an anthropomorphic animal, huh?
Yeah,
No.
so it wouldn't be like
You're
Okay.
a human being.
it wouldn't be a Spyro or anything like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
By this time, Spyro was multi-platform.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I had started thinking vaguely Ratchet and Clank. So
No.
Oh yeah,
okay, but that is a bigger game, so that wouldn't even apply. So
yeah,
never
really.
mind.
Probably should have picked that game though.
Um,
Now that I'm thinking about it.
That on PS2?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
that's what it started on.
Yeah. Like Jack and Dexter and Ratchet and Clank came out at almost the same time.
Yeah. Just they keep making Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah. And Insomniac and Naughty Dog actually shared an office building.
An office building.
Yeah.
Which is
So-
why there's like secret stuff and like you can
Mhm.
find Ratchet and
You-
Clank gun levels in Jack 3.
and there's a poster
And-
of Jack and Dexter in Ratchet and Clank 2.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
Next question, Ellen.
Jeez.
Is there still people in the chat?
I haven't looked.
I think
Sorry.
so. Jenny had to go to bed.
No, yeah, Jenny was the only one
left a while
chatting.
ago.
So.
So I think it's just. I think it's just
Bed,
us. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. I was
Who
going to see
needs
if maybe
sleep?
someone in the chat had a question.
I
No.
would have said something.
Yeah.
Well, where is it? Well, yeah. Is this exclusively single player, or is there like a multiplayer
No,
aspect? to
this
at
is
all?
a single player only game.
Okay.
Exclusively single player. Okay.
Okay.
That's 13.
I think so.
All right, this is gonna be a weird question, but I think you'll be able to answer it. Would the game feel at home on a Nintendo console?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Well, as far as the gameplay mechanics, yeah,
Okay.
but some other things not so much.
Oh, all right. So like the dark and brooding version of Banjo-Kazooie, where or just conquered the way that it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, if there was a Conquer game on PS2, I guess that would be this.
Yep.
Maybe not
Okay.
as foul, but
Right.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't even have an idea. We said it was kind of trying to be open world. Is this like super story driven game?
yeah, it's fairly story driven.
Okay.
Okay. That is question 16. We are
I know, I'm like,
coming
I don't.
down
Do you need a
to
hint?
the wire.
Yes, please.
Yeah, sure.
So you were so close by saying Sony Santa Monica. You were just too far north. It was Sony San Diego.
I mean, that doesn't help me, but
I don't want
Well, you
to.
could.
but
Okay, well, maybe I'm just
Yeah.
too good at Google search. I would look for games developed by Sony San Diego. Like,
Oh well, I mean, yeah, if you're gonna do that,
come on.
well,
always
I
use
don't think
Google.
it's against. Well, I don't feel like it's against the rules. I do feel like it goes against the spirit of the game, but I will.
Look, there are too many games on the PS2 to just know them all, so you have to use Google. Like,
That's true.
shoot, there's too many games on the NES. I passed out probably half a dozen games on the NES before this one popped up because I knew that like you wouldn't know them or you wouldn't be interested in playing them.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, wait a minute.
PlayStation 2 games. The very top one here
I found something. Yeah, I don't know.
is a PS2 game that I don't think I've ever heard of. So for all I know, I'm gonna go to the Wikipedia page. Huh.
This might possibly. Whose turn is it?
I think it's my turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, let me. Is the shoot?
I don't think this is the shoot.
No. Does the main character wear big white fluffy boots?
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking too. Okay.
I think I'm on the right. I think I got the game.
Is this Mark of Cry?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute.
I
Looking
went
at the
to
same page
I
I am.
went to
Okay.
the very top one is Mark of Cry. It's on PlayStation 2. I
And I'm
don't know
like,
what that is, but
looking at these, it's
literally
like-
everything else on this list is NBA or MLB.
MLB, yeah. So it was like,
And I'm like, so it's not any of those.
You know how much I love basketball, you know, and I have
Dude, what NBA Street plus Mario on the GameCube or whatever that was on? It was great.
Mario Hoops 3-on-3.
Yeah. It was awesome
What?
stuff. So, all right.
This is a game.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
wow.
is. Actually,
Mario
I
Hoops
think that one specifically was weirdly enough developed by Square Enix. I think.
They do a lot of the Nintendo sports games actually. Like the
Yeah.
was it the Olympic Games? You could play as Square Enix like the Final Fantasy characters.
Yeah, Square Enix.
A Mogul, a Chocobo, the four heroes, the four whatever. Like, yeah.
Well, this is clearly before it became Sonic and Mario at the Olympics, right?
This was some kind of like Olympic game thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. But yeah.
Um.
It might have been Nintendo Sports Mix. That's what it was called.
Okay.
And yeah, you could play as Final Fantasy characters, but
Yeah,
like the more generic ones, not Cloud and Sephiroth. Like,
No.
there was
All
a
right.
red mage,
Other
a
than
black
7?
mage, and blah blah blah. Sorry, what?
You mean there's characters from the Final Fantasy game that aren't on 7?
I know, right? There were actually 6 games previous to Final Fantasy VII, and there have been another 8 since then. In the main American
I was to say, are you counting the 14 versions of 13?
There were
No.
2 sequels,
Yeah.
and there was supposed to be a fighting game, and that turned into something else.
That turned into Final Fantasy 15.
I was to say, I think
Did
that's
it?
the one that turned into
Yeah,
15.
13
Yeah,
verses,
13 verses
became
became
15.
Yeah. Mhm.
Because we all needed that in our lives.
Right. All right. So the Mark of Cry is on the PlayStation 2, and doesn't look like it got remastered or anything.
It was released on the PlayStation Network for PS4 when they were like releasing all those PS2 games back in the day.
When they were like, here's a bunch of backwards compatible games that you
have to pay for.
and
download and take up storage space.
See, Microsoft, we can do backwards compatibility too. That'll be 14.
Well,
please.
I remember that when the PS4 and the Xbox One were before they were released, like everybody was all on Microsoft about DRM discs. And like, you know, and Sony released a how to play used games video.
I loved that.
And they're like,
That was good.
Take out the disc, put it in the console, play the game.
Give it to your friend.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. So funny. That was really good. So, all right. So, one other thing to announce before we officially wrap this up. I had a fan reach out to me. I wish that, well, not to me specifically. He reached out to the Crossfire Gaming page, but he said he'd been listening to us on our Podbean feed and was wondering why there weren't any new episodes over there. As you guys all know, when our sound guy LJ left us to go, he's much more involved in Geeks Under Grace now. Actually, I think I heard that he's on their board now.
Oh, I knew he was like on staff as a writer.
Yeah, that happened, and then so he's on their board now. But anyway, so he left us to go do that, and we're real happy for him. He does great things. But anyway, he was our sound guy. He did he did all this editing for us, and then I was like, oh well, I'll do it, and then I just didn't. So there's like 8. If you count this episode now, there are 9 episodes that are not on our Podbean feed yet. So anyway, so this guy, he was like, hey, there haven't been any episodes in a while, and that was really cool that he's listening and misses us. So I have started doing that. So what's going to happen is now this, of course, the time frame only works if you're watching us live on YouTube. Tomorrow morning, the first episode that LJ wasn't around for, which was what did we do before Twilight Princess? Another World. That's it. Another World will go up. That'll publish Tuesday morning, and then the very next day will be Twilight Princess, and then the day after that will be Kirby's Dream Land 2, and that will keep going until every day until the Podbean feed is caught up to where we are now. So that should take us a little over a week for that to happen. And then going forward, the Podbean feed will get updated every Wednesday. So you'll get the live episode here on Monday night. That'll give me Tuesday to get it all edited and add the music, which that's actually the part that takes the longest. Is I got to go find the music and add it. If you're a sound guy, you're probably like, that doesn't take very long at all. I'm a busy man. Don't judge me. So that'll happen. And then every Wednesday. Also, on that note, we discovered that Patreon has a podcast RSS feed that is actually free of charge for us. And you don't actually have to be a Patreon subscriber. So the Podbean feed will keep getting updated until our paid subscription ends, which will be sometime next year because we just re-upped not that long ago. And then, but the Patreon feed that we're going to be creating will be getting updated simultaneously. When our Podbean feed subscription ends next year, you won't be able to get this show at that RSS URL anymore. You'll have to start getting it on Patreon. But don't worry, that's still going to be free. You do not have to subscribe to us on Patreon to get the audio version. So, yay and happiness for all. Speaking of Patreon, you should go by there and visit and consider giving us subscribing, because there's cool stuff over there. You get the live recordings of Patty Plays Pathetically, and we're adding stuff to that all the time. I'm sure something with we're trying to integrate the tournaments into it somehow. Don't worry, we're also not going to put the tournaments behind a paywall. That's not happening. Just little perks for people who are subscribed to that. So go check that out, and check out our t-shirt store. We just added leggings, if that's a thing that you're interested in. Apparently people were. So we went, okay, if you give the people what they want, so you can now get leggings that have our logo on the side of them. And I think that's really weird, but other people don't. So, and I'll take your money either way. I'm not going to argue. You want to buy leggings? Go for it. Okay. Plugs. Nolan, where dost thou reside online?
I think he's gone.
Oh, is he? I wasn't actually looking at. Oh, we lost Nolan.
Yeah.
He was doing so good. Okay, you can find him at Baseman something. And also Icy White Falcon. There are numbers after Baseman, right?
214 or
214.
21498. I don't know if that's right.
It's really close to Darman 213, and I think that's why I was getting confused. Right. Yeah, so there's that. And then you, Joel?
Anywhere you can find me on the internet, you can find me under Obi-Watt Kenobi. That would be Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Nintendo. What's it called? My Nintendo, PSN,
whatever
Steam,
it is now.
All those places. Yeah, I think last week I just said Nintendo. I was like, that's not right.
Like Microsoft's has been Xbox Live since the beginning. And then PSN has been that since the beginning. And Nintendo has changed it with the Wii to the Wii U and now to the Switch.
Yeah, so. It was what, Nintendo Online or something at first, and then it was, or Nintendo Network.
Yeah, or
I don't remember.
Or was it Wi-Fi Connect? Wasn't that it?
That's what it was.
Yeah, that's it.
No, Wi-Fi Connect was multiplayer wireless stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry. Gosh, what was it called? I think it was just called. I think it might have been Nintendo Wi-Fi.
It might have just maybe, or was it Nintendo Network?
Yes, it was Nintendo Network.
Nintendo Network.
And then on Wii U, it was.
Well, I always said Miiverse. I knew that wasn't what it was,
Miiverse
but
supposed to be like a social media platform,
right? But you could find people that way, so that's why I was like, you just look me up on Miiverse. And
I think Miiverse is still a thing, isn't it? Or no, it's Mitomo. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Miiverse is still a thing on Wii U and 3DS, but it won't be a thing going forward. So, but yeah, they use Mitomo now, which nobody uses. Just sad because I still like it. It's dumb, but I still like it. Okay. You can find me right here on this show, as well as also Nolan and Joel, You can find me on the CrossForge Gaming Facebook page, the community page, which is so the main Facebook page is you can just go to crossforgegaming.com. That'll forward you there. The community page, not cage. There's no cage for our community members. That would be very rude of us. Facebook.com/group/CrossForgeGaming. Our Patreon is patreon.com/CrossForgeGaming. I'm doing this off the top of my head, so forgive me if I'm wrong, but it is in the link below. Our t-shirt store, I'm pretty sure, is pro.tchip.com/CrossForgeGaming. If I'm wrong about that, like I said, the link's below in the description. And it's right. I know that. Yeah, we're also on Twitter at CrossForge Games, not gaming, because gaming was already taken by a very mean person who got there first. No, I'm sure he's a fine individual. And yeah, don't forget about the tournament on July 6th. Keep checking back for information on this collaboration between us and Gamalad, and obviously September 9th. Keep that available. All right, music. I didn't pick music. My phone's dead. This laptop is awful. Enough of the game to know just off the top of my head what music I'm going to be. So if you're listening to the audio feed, you're going to get a surprise because it's just going to be whatever I find when I edit this in a couple of days and do that. It'll probably be something like the title screen and the credit screen or something like that. And since I'm not going to be editing it for a few days, if you like the game and you have a suggestion, go ahead and throw it out there and maybe I'll use it. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you all next time on Original Gamers Podcast. Have a good one.
Be good, humans.
Bye, everybody. That was Nolan from Beyond.